What's poppin', yo? Welcome back to another YouTube video. Today we're taking a look at 3 My Hero Academia mystery box figures. I did get these for my birthday and Christmas. I did get 7 of these. And I got 3 Todorokis, 3 Dekus, and 2 Ochakos. Out of a possible 5 figures that you can get from these mystery boxes, you can get Deku, Bakugo, Shodoroki. That was a mix of Shoto and Todoroki. Uraraka and All Might. There are the 5 figures you can get from these mystery boxes. Shoto is my favorite. I don't like Ochako, so I'm a little upset that I got 2 of her. But yeah, here they are. These cost $7.99 from Home Bargains, but if you want to get them from anywhere else like Forbidden Planet, they're going to cost you up to £16. These are definitely not worth £16. The £7 I'll give it to them, but the 16 is just not okay. Here is Shoto. His eye is a little scuffed there, but there is a lot of packaging. Each one comes like this, and each little segment of the figure will come in a different section of this packet, whereas Deku, he has his legs, his torso, his stand, his head, and his arm that separate. For Shoto, it is his torso, his head, his ice, and his base. And then for Ochako, it's both her arms, her head, and her base. We are going to take a look at Shoto first. He is in a nice sort of ice-making position. He isn't using too much of his fire. He's squatting down. He's getting ready to build a lot of ice. He's got a very big head. He's got a calm face. He's got a little bit of scuff on the back. His hair is good as well. He's got a lot of fire over here. Not as much compared to the ice, though. He does have his very small 5 weenies dotted around his belt there. Honestly, a little Shoto just to have on your desk is very cool. Moving on to Ochako, she has a bit of rubble behind her. She is floating slightly. She has her knees pointed together. Her hands pushed out in front of her. She looks quite happy, quite confident. Her hair does get in the way of her hands, so you got to put her hands in, then you got to hold her hands in place whilst you put on her head, otherwise her hands will pop off because of her hair. Honestly, not a fan of Uraraka. I don't really like her in the show, but I have her here, so ta-da. Moving on to Deku, who is quite cool and the most interesting one, because he does have a bit of the rubble attached to his leg, which does connect him to the base. He has a lot of rubble around the sides of him. He's getting ready to kick. He looks quite angry, gritting his teeth together. He's got his freckles. He's got his eyes. He does sort of have a little bit of worry in his eyes. He has his hands in a sort of ready to punch and ready to block position. He's basically leaping forward. I don't think he has a plan with what he's doing, just by his facial expression and how he's positioned. He does have his hood flailing around in the back, his belt there, his nice spiky hair just going every which direction. The very small details on his suit with the black and his little mask there. Honestly, a really cool figure. I think Deku is the best one out of them all. He is definitely my favorite. Shoto does have a lot of detail on him as well, with the whites around his collar, the grey around his backpack thing. I don't really know what that is. And his little wrist gauntlets, which also keep him cool, I do believe. But I did get 7 of these. I will show you how they come in the packets. Look at that. All that room for a little arm, all that room for the leg, for the other arm, for the head, for the thing. And then all this room for Shoto as well. I don't see why they need to be packaged like this. I get it, so each part doesn't damage the other part with like the printing and stuff like that, but it shouldn't do that anyway. Like, your product shouldn't get damaged by itself. But it's how all anime figures are packaged anyway. And I've never really had any damage with my figures, but I just think it's a waste of plastic and a waste of, it's just a lot of plastic for some figures. I think it's a waste of plastic. But other than that, the figures are really cool. I like them. They're definitely not the worth the price that some retailers are trying to sell them for, but that is because they have to import them from Japan. But other than that, I hope you enjoyed. See you all next one. Have a nice day, and goodbye. Stay home and stay safe.